How would you like to know what to wear for your next speaking engagement so that your audience is fully connected to every single word you say, so that after the speech is over with, they come up and say, "Oh my goodness, I had so many breakthroughs in your speech when you were speaking." That's what you really want, right? Well, that is what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to give you my stage framework. S.T.A.G. Each symbol something, and it can help you when you are thinking, what should I wear for my next speaking engagement? And when you do this, you can really dress on purpose so that you are owning the stage on your next speaking engagement. So let's get started, shall we? Now, here's something to note is that the outfit that you are wearing when you are speaking, it is either building a bridge to your audience or it's burning one before you even say a word. So this is something that is really important and that you really need to think about when you are doing a speaking event, especially on the stage. So I have a framework that we're going to go through. So it spells the word stage, which is really easy to remember. So we're going to go S for standing out, T for take command with dark colors, A for align with your brand, G, gear toward the event, and E, elevate with trends. Okay, so let's start with standing out. So there's actually this principle called the isolation effect. And basically, through research, it has shown this principle that when something is isolated visually, it stands out more and we remember it better. And you want to be remembered as like the speaker, right? Think of if you are doing a conference and like there's 5 different speakers in the whole conference. Don't you want to be like one of the top ones that they remember in their brain? Yes, you do. And so using this principle can really help you be remembered because you are isolated. Like, oh yeah, that speaker, I remember her. She was wearing that red and black outfit and just really stood out amongst all the other ones. So I want to give you like something to think about of doing this like in the wrong way and the right way. So a couple years back, I was watching a virtual conference. And the speaker was really great. I'd heard her before, but when she did her first talk, unfortunately, her outfit did the opposite of isolation. Now, we really want to think about standing out. Not like too crazy, like she doesn't belong here, but like standing out from the rest of the things that are going on. And that's like the first thing you want to think about is really, I would recommend when you are booked for speaking events, contacting someone and being like, hey, what is the background going to be like? What things are going to be around on stage that I need to be aware of? Because you don't want to clash with the background, but also like you don't want to totally blend in as well. So this conference that I was watching, she was wearing this white dress. Let's pause for a second too. Just a little extra advice here. Wearing white on stage can be tricky because you never know where the lighting is going. And even if you have something that isn't normally see-through, the light hitting in certain angles can really cause it to be like it's see-through. So, just a note to think about. As a stylist, I don't recommend wearing a lot of white on stage just because you don't know how the light's going to hit and what normally wouldn't be see-through becomes see-through. So let's get back to this though. So she was wearing a white dress, which, okay. But the thing is that during her speech, she was writing on a big whiteboard. It wasn't like a board, actually. It was like one of those like the big easels. And then it was like a big notepad. I can't think of what it's called, but like very big. And so she was writing next to it. Here's the problem. White dress, white easel. She was like, everything was blending in. And to use that isolation effect to her advantage, it was like working against her. And so, really, you want to think of, okay, how can I stand out somewhat? Not too crazy, right? But how can I stand out so I can be remembered and also so that people can pay attention to me. It was hard to like not have everything be in the mix of when she was standing next to that whiteboard. It's like, where's the person? Where's the whiteboard? And so, really, to be remembered and to have people be able to pay attention to you and really have their face and their vision be looking at you and really taking in every word and not get distracted, you need to stand out. So, what does this look like visually? Think of when you are reading an amazing book and you highlight something, whether it's yellow or pink or blue. If it's like, like a normal, like cream colored book page, then that is going to stand out. So, number one is standouts. Make sure that you are not blending in. Make sure that it's not like total contrast, like let's say the background is flowers and you do like bright polka dots. Probably that's a little much, too much pattern. So make sure you're standing out enough, not blending in, but also that the background and what you're around won't um, totally clash either as well. So know the background. Number two, we're doing T, so S.T.A.G.E, and that's take command with dark colors. Now, through research, there is this, it has shown that darker colors represent authority. And so you want to be on stage before you even say a word and people being like, oh, she looks like an expert. I better pay attention to what she says. That's what you want, right? And so you can do this wearing darker colors. There's shown this is a little different, like not the same avenue as speaking, but they did research with sports teams and showing the difference between like teams that changed their colors from like a different color to like black, and they were seen having like more authority. And so something to note is like when you are doing a speaking event, darker colors are going to be your friend. They're going to show credibility, whereas lighter colors are great for approachability. So, darker colors, authority and credibility. Lighter colors show approachability. So, lighter colors are great for like, let's say you're launching a book and you have a book table where you take pictures with people and you talk with them. That is great for like those lighter colors. When you are on stage and you want to look like that expert with authority and credibility, so they are really thinking like, oh, what she's saying, she actually knows what she's talking about. You want to wear darker colors for that. And one thing is something to know if we really want to go deep into color and color psychology is that blue is really known as the color of trust, of making people feel trust. And so, and also navy blue is a great color on all complexions. So navy blue may just be the best one of is a great color that's darker and that works on everyone. So that's just something to consider next time you are thinking, what should I wear? So that is T. Okay, so we have S.T.A.G.E. Align with your brand. For the speaking engagement, like this is going to be the first time, probably, that a lot of people are going to experience you and your brand. And so if you can really use that isolation effect and help people remember you, you want them to be able to remember your brand, right? And so as they are remembering you and they go onto your website, your social media, having them be like, let's say they do this after the conference. They're like, oh my goodness, I need to look up this woman because she was such an amazing speaker. I got so much out of her speech. And they go to your website and they go to, or your profile picture, profile. You really want to make sure that you're brand aligned because you want the person that they saw that day during the speak to be represented, also to be in a line and consistent with the that that they are seeing um, on your website, on your profile. Why? Because it has been shown so many different times, consistency equals trust. So you want to make sure that what you are wearing is consistent with your brand so then that when they research you later, they are seeing that consistency and you're building trust with them. So how do we really align our brand and show our brand in what we are wearing? Well, I like to do it with the 3 B's. 3 things you want to think about when you want to create an outfit that is aligned with your brand. So, number one, you want to think about your business identity, like who you are as a businesswoman. And you want to wear pieces that represent her well, that make you feel confident like her, like you actually are her. A lot of times if we are not growing, then we're going backwards. And so as businesswomen, we have to like act like her before we totally feel like her. And so when we can wear pieces that make us feel like her, we are going to feel confident and act like her more. So something really easy just to think about is like pulling out an outfit and be like, does this look like the woman that, like, when I see this, am I feeling like that woman? Because it will make you, like you will it will come to your brain like yes or like yes. So something, and it could just be like the pieces. You might be more comfortable in some pieces than other. I had a client that speaks a lot, and she said, because I was designing some outfits for her speaking engagements, and she was like, I feel a lot more comfortable on stage wearing pants and trousers rather than a dress. And so for her, I made sure, okay, when I'm creating these speaking event outfits, I'm going to make sure there's pants because she's going to feel more comfortable and confident and really be able to express that businesswoman that she wants to be, that is deep inside of her. And so that's going to come off in her body language. So really think about like, okay, is this matching my business identity? Even in the simplest forms of like, is this going to make me feel like that confident businesswoman that, I mean, I'd always feel like, but I know that's in there. And when I wear these pieces, maybe it's a certain category, like I feel like her. So it's match your business identity. Number two is it needs to match your business values. And so, um, there's this thing called color psychology, and it's basically color mean different things, makes people feel different ways. And so, like I said, just for example, like wearing the color blue equals trust. So if you are someone that wants to have like that authority, but also be showing as a trusting person, navy blue is a great one. Maybe your brand is really on like empowering women and making them feel like very authoritative and to, let's say you help ladies, let's say you are a business coach that helps put together these speaking courses. So, like you help them speak on Zoom more. And so, you coach them on how they can speak better on Zoom. what you want them to feel like very credible and authoritative, then maybe like a black might be better for you than navy. It's a darker color, but also it really shows that authority color. And like if you work with me, I'm going to help you really look and feel authoritative. Because maybe that's like the one thing that you nail on is like overcoming their fear of speaking. And so, like, when you work with me, when you are in our business, you are going to feel like the equipped, authoritarian woman of God that God created you to be. So, make sure it is aligned with your business values. Also, you can do like patterns too. So, you know, I like to say, let's say you're a trauma coach and you help female entrepreneurs that are moms that dealt um, with trauma of some sort. And your thing is really helping ladies feel calm and safe around you. And so, wearing a pattern such as some nature, like maybe it's floral, maybe it's um, like what was it? Oh, like, ocean or like the sea or the water theme rather than like cheetah print is going to make them help feel calm. Get that message of calmness. So that's just some things you want to think about. Like, is this really representing my business values? Really, like, how is the pattern? How are the colors? Like what I'm putting together. Like another example would be for that like calmness, wearing a leather jacket might be a little too authoritative, like a black leather jacket, might be a little too authoritative for like that trauma coach, but would be great for that coach that is helping ladies speak on Zoom. So just think about your values and like, does this send that message of the words I'm trying to say through my brand? And then lastly, you want to think about like what are your clients looking for? And people will ask, well, like how formal do I need to dress? And basically a good rule is to think of like your best ideal client and to dress just a little bit more formal than her. And that really speaks like that leadership, like that um, I'm one step ahead of you. Not in a, like I'm one step ahead of you in what I know, and like I'm willing to go um like ahead of you, if that makes sense. So just like and just that extra level of attention intentionality. Um, so, let's say that your ideal client often wears like some nicer blouses and then like some nicer pants. Just adding like a blazer, even if it's a semi-casual blazer to that same outfit, just elevates you a tad bit more and just really portrays you as the leader. And that's what she wants to see in you. So really think about your best clients. And actually, in this case, it would be like the people that are going to be in the audience, that could be your best client. So, business identity, business values, best client, that's going to be in the audience. Think about that. But then also, we're going to go into that, like, keep what I said, but then also we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that in the next one, which is gear toward the event. So, depending on the event, too, you want to think of like who's in your audience and um, like what that audience is like. So, um, some because here's the thing is like you want to be seen, like I said, with your best client and dressing for them, like you want to be seen as someone that is a leader and see that through your style, but also like if they're dressing way down here and you're dressing way up here, there's going to be that disconnect. They're not going to feel as relatable to you, and so that's going to be harder for them to really embrace your message. So you don't want to go too extreme with being like super formal and they're super casual. So one way that you can do this is like the woman, well, okay. If the woman, like if there's a woman that is putting this event on, but she's not speaking, then like look at what she wears normally in her business or if she's done other speaking events. A lot of times you can do this on Instagram. Just check out profile and like see what kind of is like her go-to um like speaking event outfit or when she's really working with her clients. See what that go-to is. Um Macy McNeely, the sales girl woman, she has the sales girl business and she's a seven-figure entrepreneur. She says, like a lot of times you can understand what people's style is by looking at like the leader. So for example, in her case, like you can look at her style and like she attracts a lot of people similar to her. And so they may not all dress to her exact level, but a lot of them will dress similar because they look up to her. And so you can like look at what the person that's doing the event, look at what she has worn in the past. You could honestly just ask her, like if there's a recommendation on an idea, or if she is speaking um, in the event then, be like, hey, could I get a picture? I'm just trying to make sure that I am looking relevant, and put together for the speaking event. Can you just tell me like what you're wearing? I'd love to see a picture. And then two, like honoring her. Like you don't want to go above and beyond her. Because if it is her event, like she needs to be the star, right? So make sure you put that into consideration. Like don't go, a lot fancier than her. Don't go like um with the different details going on, like let her be the star of this show. So don't go with things that are really like out there. For example, I have a shirt that has like a ton of bright flowers and it's just like this amazing statement piece. Like make sure if you get her outfit that you tone it down like a little bit less so that she'll be really the star of the show and you'll just be respectful with that. But also just like use it for guidance. So, to see how formal, how dressy you should be, like if it is someone that her the event is going to be geared towards 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs, like the status most likely depending on the leader and the woman like is going to be very high and so you probably are gonna maybe purchase some brand names, like have the blazer, maybe a suit look, that sort of thing. Whereas let's say that the owner is in charge of a big like workout franchise, she's gonna be dressed in formal but it's gonna be less than that other case. So look to the leader, sees what she has dressed in the past, and but don't overdo her either if she is speaking. So, and then lastly, we have elevate with trends. A lot of times people ask me like, how do I dress in a way that will attract premium clients? Well, here's the thing is that trends is a great way to elevate your outfit because it is showing a couple things. It's showing that you are intentional and premium clients want intentionality, right? They like I would just saw a story on Instagram today, and she was talking about how she went to two restaurants and this is an eight-figure entrepreneur. She went to two restaurants, an Italian restaurant, and then I think it was like a steakhouse. And she said she loved one and really was not a fan of the other. And because it was how intentional they were. Um, they both had good food. It was around the same price range. The one Italian place, she could tell like the waitress's attitude was not great. Like, the service was okay. But the other place, like the service there was just like they were intentional and of thinking everything that they could possibly do, like before that was even asked, like, so for example, it could have been like, while, like the glasses were half full with water and they brought the water. Um, they, like maybe one of the moms, one of the ladies there, had a baby, and so they automatically just like when they saw the baby, they notified someone, and there was a chair waiting for him at the table, just as high intentionally, like just they felt so well taken care of at the steakhouse. And she's like, that is the one that I'm going to be telling everyone about and not recommend the other one to anyone. And so, just showing that intentionality of by adding some trends that, as we are looking at the three B's that I went through that do align with that, like your business identity, you're feeling comfortable in it and confidence, it's still representing your business values and clients, like something that your best clients and the audience will like, but adding a piece here and there really shows that you are intentional, especially for the ones, like a lot of people like to shop. And so if they see one of those trends that they've been seeing around, like they're gonna feel relatable to you, and they're just gonna be like, oh wow, she like puts a lot of thought into her outfits. I just saw some of those pieces in the store. Like she must have just added that to her wardrobe recently. That takes like thought and intention to make sure that's in her outfit. And so that will really help those premium clients that could be in the audience be attracted to you, and really make you look like the expert and help them to just um, lean in and listen and get the most out of your speech. So that was, I'm going to go over it real quick. S for stand out. T for take command with dark colors. A, align with your brand with the three B's. G, gear toward the event. And E, elevate with trend pieces. So incorporating this as a guide for your next speaking event will really help you own the stage, help you be remembered and be seen as that amazing speaker that gave so many breakthroughs. And I do have a resource for you. I created a guide where you can easily find trends that will match your brand. And so basically, you adding trends to your wardrobe is so easy. You find the one that you align with, you click on it, it takes you right to the site, you click shop, buy, and it comes to your house. So I will put the link to that trend guide below. I highly recommend you check it out so you can elevate all of your speaking outfits. But until next time, know that God created this business for you. He put gifts inside of you to create a huge impact to the people that you are supposed to help. And you can really use your style in a way when you dress on purpose and you dress intentional and it aligns with your brand to make an even bigger impact. In this case, it's to help people lean in and really take every word so that they clearly get your message that you are spreading when you are speaking. And so in doing that, you are just going to be impacting more and more people when you use your style as a business strategy to help people lean in and listen. So know that I am cheering you on in your style. Bye for now.